Hey, it's Mark. We got another video. Gonna jump right into some stocks here. I didn't make a lot of trades today. Some of the trades I outlined what I was gonna do in yesterday's video. I put on the DNA calls today, and that one was just perfect. As I kind of laid out in yesterday's video, that triangular pennant right here just broke out really yesterday was the move out of that consolidation there, like that big candle there. And we just broke through a level I drew from the other day too. So we've got a level there too that it just broke through. And so far so good, it's held that. So it's in this little trading range here where it found support from way back. I think it really found support early. Usually you'd see it hit this level it had back in the spring, like 120, but I think it was just early, because the market's been going up too, and of course the biotech ETF index was up too. So it kind of usually you see it work out perfectly where it perfectly hits support, but this time it was a little early. As you see, it's just a really nice uh, triangle there that it formed, what it broke out of. So it looks really good. Like I loaded up a bunch of calls today, like going out months. Man, I got March. I mean, the premiums are really cheap on these. Like it's like $10 a contract. So I just loaded up on the March 15th, 250 strikes, which isn't really that far from here. For a couple of months, like 250 was kind of the resistance area that it's got months to get to now. And I've got, I put in some other calls too, in my other account. Yeah, I got the 150 because it did have pretty good liquidity on the 150 strike calls for I think it was this month. I'm just double checking that real quick. It was, yeah, for the ones that expire tomorrow. So I got some of those to just to take advantage of this move it's making right now. And those are up a little bit already. Yeah, it's actually up. They're pretty like 50% now. So if we get a gap up or anything, I'll be locking those in. I probably yeah. I bought the $2 strike calls too for January. So the way it's going now with these really high ranging days, it may get there. It may hit $2, in like a couple weeks. Looks like so. I got the $2 strikes on those too. Not crazy size or anything, because I don't really put a lot of size in any positions, but kind of normal size. And some other ones. One of the ones that I missed that I forgot to talk about was this shot, and all the traders are trading this stock. Like if you look at the long term chart, it looks like an IPO in 2020. I mean, that's when they started trading in 2020, 2021. It had a little run up in 2021, and then it's been bad news since then. If you look at the chart, and no doubt it's just the company's fundamentals too. And this one, I guess it pumped. Something happened where it went up. It went from like $1 to $7, and then it tried to go again, topped out, did a double top right there, and then the uptrend was pretty much wrecked right there, and then because it was really trying to get a brother breakout, but then it failed there. So it's a broken chart and it's just downtrending. And the thing I noticed was this little triangle it did there, or like a little had a nice clear level right there. And I was kind of expecting it just to be down a lot today off that a breakdown, because the short sellers like love this stock right now. It's like everybody's shorting it, and I guess there's a lot of bag holders that are just getting out too. So it's been it hasn't really been on my radar until recently, but I'm just gonna double check the short interest and see if it's actually showing up as because the company actually put out a press release that the short sellers were hurting the company. Yeah, I'm just looking. Yeah, here it is. Here's the company put out a press release that several disclosed short sellers publishing malicious, defamatory, inaccurate articles. So, I mean, the fact that they have to address that, there's obviously a lot of shorts and something going on here, on the short side. So let's see. I just want to see what these sites are saying for the short interest. Yeah, it's only saying 8%. Like 8% of the float is short. Maybe there might be some naked shorts. I mean, there must be, because that would be weird. Like, why would they put a statement out, a press release about short sellers if it was only, if it was less than 10% of the float short? That's kind of suspicious. Could be naked shorts or some other kind of manipulation, some kind of short undisclosed. Well, I guess it says maybe there's undisclosed shorts too. So, but anyway, I put on these because it basically did. It's a supernova, and it went from $1 to $7, and the company's not really consistent with their business model, and they changed. Like, the company used to be Jupiter Wellness, and they just changed their name. They changed their name in September, so that strikes me as a little odd. And they basically sell drinks and like something to treat hair loss. So that sounds kind of possibly sketchy. Jellyfish sting prevention sunscreen. Just a lot of unusual products they have. So I put on some puts on this one, and it was just really a gift today that the stock was up, so the puts were even better priced. Like, I put on some February monthly $2 strike puts. So yeah, it's got a good ways to go to hit that, but if the pattern plays out, it's a supernova for sure. So so that was another one I traded today, and I noticed that these that the flows came back into energy today and like commodities. So I think this is a short-term bottom for commodities. I mean, we saw gold had a pretty good run yesterday, and it's up again today. So crude oil looks like it really wants to bounce there. Like, it's just consolidating. So I put on some DBC, the commodity ETF calls. Pretty speculative. Like, I put on the January calls. I got like the 25 strike. Just it's like a speculative play just to see if we get a good bounce here. So it went oversold here back in like last week. It was pretty oversold. It has this downtrend level that it came up against, and then it broke this kind of like wedge here, and then you can see it's done these like bear flags, but I'm just expecting a little bit more of a push than a bear flag. And you see like a lot of commodities were strong today, like even natural gas looks like it may be trying to bounce here. It's like oversold too. So it's kind of like a play on the risk on too. Like, I mean, you're not going to see the equity markets go up this much without some commodities following it for long. So that's just kind of like a rotational trade too. Just that's one of the places that you should see more flows is these commodities with it being so risk on right now. And I'm trying to think of my other trades today. Oh yeah, I was looking at a lot of these high short interest stocks like that could squeeze, and there are squeezing, and I put on some SIRI calls too. That one's just got a really nice uptrend going now, and it hasn't had a gap up run like a lot of these sectors and stocks have had yet. So the fact that it's high short interest, I think it's going to do like another open. I'm just looking for another kind of open type move, and you can see open. That's the one I traded too. That it just gapped up like it like a lot of stuff did today. It gapped up today and ran. So I locked those in. I got kind of lucky. I got those when it was up like around almost around 5. What was it, 480, 470, 480? I think it's when I locked those in for a pretty good gain. It was like a 350% gain, I think. And turned out to be a good trade there because I locked that in. And but yeah, I'm just expecting SIRI to do a similar thing where it's just gonna finally squeeze like, because SIRI has good squeezes when it squeezes. Like back here was a good squeeze. So I'm expecting it just to kind of blow up and just have a run to 6 real quick. But it may not, it could be wrong, but it's just kind of what's going on, just kind of following the patterns here. And another one that's this one's very high short interest too. It's like I think it's like a 40% of the float is short, or 30%. Tiffany, I recommend to follow Tiffany for the short squeeze stocks. Like that's her specialty. I'm just pulling up her account real quick. So, where is she? Well, I retweeted her one of her tweets. But anyway, I put this one on. I put some calls on this one because it's green again today. So there's a good chance it squeezes because it's got a really high short interest too. And I'm just looking for Tiffany's page here. I know I tweeted her stuff out the other day. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, Tiffany Fawcett. She like her bread and butter is just trading these high short interest stocks, and she's pretty active on Twitter, and she's a day trader. Like she's trades, and like she tracks them all really well with her Ortex data. The Ortex data is the best data as far as I know to get up to date short interests and data on stocks that are highly shorted. So she's putting out this stuff for free, like her Ortex, because Ortex is a subscription, you have to pay like monthly. And she's put out GameStop, it's 22% short. And the BYNDs was interesting too. I didn't really see a setup in the stock, but yeah, the EOSE is 27%. I was wrong. It's only 27%, which is still enough for a short squeeze. You know, you want to see. I think the minimum is like 15, but more like 20 is gonna have a good chance of a squeeze. But I'd say like, you know, it's got to be at least 15% or more. And of course, it has to be a squeeze. Like not every stock that goes up is a squeeze. You know, it's got to be short covering, of course. But those are some of the other ones that I traded and been looking at. I'm kind of curious about GameStop now because she just put that one out. Oh yeah, that one looks like it's going. I mean, there's a good chance it squeezes since it's over these highs here, and that was really beaten down too. So yeah, I kind of I get interested in these high short interest stocks when they're actually moving. Like I don't wait for them just to move. And the IBB's been consistent too, but I was kind of looking at that when I was looking at DNA. So some other things, I'm just gonna make sure I got all my trades that I made. Yeah, that's pretty much what I did today. And we can look at the indices. The Russell 2000's up against a big level there. That's the level that I was talking about. This double top level there, and it broke through it actually a little bit today, and seems to be holding. Like it's not really a huge reversal, but it's right on that level, so could very well just continue, you know, if it holds those. Looks like the NASDAQ opened up lower. And the TLT just keeps going too. The momentum's just incredible, just going and going. Yeah, and I was looking at junk bonds again. Those are holding. Like that was the breakout level from way back. You know, that's the level that it's been key for the past year, almost more than a year, and it just broke out of that, and it's really looking bullish. So that's even more indication that it's like a lot of risk on. That it's going to continue. And the banks are just really strong today. It's another one of those gap ups. Yeah, the momentum is just incredible. Like the pullbacks just aren't happening. So it's like it's kind of like a euphoric market. And I think that's about it for the major ones. I was also looking at these housing related stocks. Like it looks like squeeze is going on, and I mean the Redfin was huge today. It was up like 15%. And Rocket. This looks like a squeeze too. I mean, look at the volume. The volume just came out of nowhere, and it's up like $3 a share in 2 days. And I was looking at that one the other day. Like I wish I put that on now, but I traded the Redfin instead. But I'm sure these calls are up insanely too. I mean, look at these uptrends. Like there's just not pullbacks. Like I mean, this one's due a pullback like tomorrow or the next day. I mean, it just can't go up straight forever. But yeah, the shot is interesting. Like I really think this one's going to be lower in the next couple months. So that's a good supernova short. And it's really cool that it has puts too, like it has liquid options. And I was looking at Cons today too. It's a brick and mortar like furniture appliance store. It just hasn't participated in the rally, and the sellers are really in control. I don't know if it's shorts or sellers, probably both. And it's back in that downtrend level. Like it tried to break over this downtrend here, but just came back into it, and it's doing a little pennant kind of triangle there. So I think this one's going to be lower before it goes, if it goes higher. But it looks like the fact that it hasn't participated really with the rally is pretty telling. And it was like the only stock on this watch list that was red today. So I was looking at the puts, but I just don't think it's either the liquidity wasn't there or something. Yeah, there's just not really any liquidity on the puts right now. They're just not liquid, unfortunately. The April's the April $2 strike aren't, they're pretty bad, but there is some liquidity there. There is some volume. It's like a really light volume, but it's like a 15.35 spread. So like 15 on the bid, 35 on the ask. So if those stay liquid, then that's pretty much a like decent premium. I was looking at some of these premiums were out of whack with some of these stocks, like I think it was maybe the DNA going months out was like $5 a contract. Yeah, it was like you can get the $3 strikes for $5 a contract in the March and even April too. Wait, February. Yeah, it looks like it's not there, but the March volume's really good on DNA. And we can check some more of these. Yeah, the Zillow's been same kind of look as XHB and these housing stocks, really strong. Yeah, I think it was Wayfair. It hasn't really had an incredible run yet, but the Wayfair is in this uptrend channel right now. It's respecting it really well. Like this, it's touched off of the resistance level 3 times now. So we'll see if it does one of those moves where it just keeps going, or it could pull back. But it's very bullish action. And let's look at maybe we'll look at one more watch list here. Looks like I actually have an old squeeze watch list that's only got one stock. What's this one? Yeah, these REITs were really strong today. HPP is incredible. Look at that. It's even breaking out now. ABR broke downtrend. Yeah, it's pretty much been like indiscriminate buying. Everything's been getting bought up. That's why I'm kind of more interested in the things that aren't going up. Does seem to be pretty obvious, like that cons. But let's look at. I just want to look at some gap downs to see, because there'll probably be some really obvious gap downs. Yeah, there's only 8 stocks that hit my gap down scan today. Only 8. So what is this one? PFIX. That one's just super weak. Looks like it's not a ton of volume. There's probably no options on it. Yeah, it's just a reverse or a inverse bank ETF. This B way might be, that could be toppy on the B way, but there's not a crazy amount of sell volume, so it may not be done yet. Let's just look at that one real quick, because that one's kind of interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of buying on this consolidation. There's a pretty red day today, and looks like the uptrend broke there. Looks like the momentum is dead for now, at least. Yeah, this one's already had its run, so maybe consolidating. I just want to see what this company does. Because the fact that it was red today when everything was just up huge could be telling there. It's like a micro cap. It's like $90 million company, Israeli company. Non-invasive neurostimulation treatments for mental health disorders. Non-invasive neurostimulation. What is that? Magnetic simulation platform? That doesn't make any sense. A magnetic stimulation platform for depression. Maybe there's some technology I'm not aware of, but that's not really a traditional method for treatment of depression. It almost sounds like the way they used to do stuff like 200 years ago. They do like electroshock therapy. It just sounds kind of in the same kind of wheelhouse to me. I'm sure it's not that, but that just sounds kind of sketchy to me. Magnetic stimulation. I mean, maybe that's a thing. I guess it's a thing, huh? That's doesn't look like that's for me, but yeah, it's kind of unusual. Look at, they're putting like a thing on our head. Yeah, wow. It's got these little picture, like there's little things going on in our brain. Wow, that's some weird stuff. Wow, what is this stuff? Receive marketing authorization from the FDA. I don't get it, but I mean, I'd be surprised if doctors are recommending this, but maybe they are for, as a last cause, or as a last treatment option. I just want to see what these press releases look like, if they're really fluffy or they look pretty legit. But that's kind of interesting. So they got like 31 million revenue. It's not profitable. Let's see what the balance sheet's like. Yeah, the balance sheet's not bad. Cash is pretty stable. Yeah, their quick ratio is really good, or their current ratio. Current ratio is really good. There's not much debt either, so they're not in bad shape. Let's see if they have any revenue, or what the revenue is. Yeah, revenue's pretty flat, really. But that's an interesting one. Looks like they did an IPO in 2019 and the stock's done nothing. Like it's done these little runs in the past. So that's a pretty big run though, from 150 to 6. But yeah, this looks good as a short here right at the moment. Let's see if they have options too. Because it's basically like a supernova. I mean, it went from $1 to like $7, $6. Well, 3 to 6. It's not really the best supernova, but I don't see any options, unfortunately. But it looks pretty weak at the moment. Like that's the down channel it's entering in now. So it's got this down channel. Because it made a lower high there, and that was on like a trend support, and then yeah, the chart's like broken, so it's a good short watch. Now I'm still watching the RGTI too. It's in this little channel right here, and it's just it's been holding that dollar a share so far, but I need to see some high day range, like a day where it just runs 5-10%. Like I want to see it break out of this channel first before I long it. So I was thinking of putting on some calls, just on the $1 support level, but I think it's better just to wait because it hasn't really participated in the rally yet either. And I'm still watching Hood too. Yeah, that was an interesting print today. I wonder if that's the accurate print because you can see how it came back on this candle here. It retested that resistance level, which is now support, and it held that level really quick. You can see it just came down and bounced right back, and made a move today too. But I'm looking to ideally get this. If it comes down, if the stock goes lower, I'm going to buy some more calls because I do think there's a really good chance that they get bought out by another online broker at some point in the next year or two. I mean, it could be soon, could be later, but they have a really good mobile app. Like the mobile user interface is incredibly good and fast, and it's just a really good app. I mean, their name, you can question their name, how tarnished it is in the public, but like a lot of people still have the accounts, but like the company acquiring them is not going to care about their name as much as they're going to care about the user interface and the software itself, because it's just as far as I know, it's the superior mobile app for online brokerage, and they've got crypto too, so that's a nice thing too. But yeah, it's got that 13 resistance, like 1320, so it's not really like there's not really a buy here to me. It's either gotta break and hold that or come back down. I mean, hopefully, I hope it comes back down so I can get some more calls. But I'm watching that one too. And the any, yeah, I talked about this one yesterday too. It looked like a bull flag. So yeah, the bull flag kind of it played out today. It just went up today, but it came back down. So that may hold. Like it may just keep going. I think it depends on like what Bitcoin does because it's a miner. But I was right on that bull flag, and Bitcoin is kind of hanging in there. So yeah, I'll just call it a wrap on that, and catch you next time.